Hello everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you would like, and today I have for you a very fun vlog. It is part travel vlog, part reading vlog, perfect for the autumnal season if I do say so myself, and I'm just so excited to be filming this. I have technically already done the travel portion of this vlog. I went to New England for a bunch of reasons. I was visiting my sister, and also just the lovely New England autumn time vibes are up there. I also got to meet two very special friends, Wallace Kinney and ann-chandler, two amazing people, amazing writers. I will link their YouTube channels down below because they have great content for you to watch. But Wallace recently released her debut novel, A Dark and Secret Magic, and was going on book tour. So I went up there to meet up with them and go to this book tour event. So a lot of fun stuff was going on. I filmed some B-roll for you guys to kind of get a glimpse into what this past week has been like for me, so I will play that B-roll here for you now. A very lovely trip. So I had a great time. I also spent way more money than I probably should have. I have a big pile of things here to kind of do a little haul for you to show you what I got. So why don't we get into that? The first place that I bought stuff from was a little bookstore in Providence, and let me check the bookmark that I got so I don't get the name wrong. Heartleaf Books, yeah. So see that? It's gonna be backwards for you. This says, I met Penny at Heartleaf Books because there was a cat named Penny in the store. I got to pet her. She was very cute. And this was a small queer-owned business, so obviously I wanted to support them. And I ended up buying Babel by R.F. Kuang. I wanted to get a book that, I specifically, I had a lot of criteria for which book I wanted to get from the store because I wanted to support them, so obviously I was going to get a book. But I'm very picky about what books I pay full price for. I do most of my book collecting through thrift stores and little free libraries and the like. I also have plenty of people in my life who will buy me books, but like my own personal money, I don't often spend on like new 100% unused books. So Babel I decided to get for several reasons. One, it's a book I'm almost positive I'm going to love because it's got so much going for it. It's historical, it's got a magical school, it's got a language-based magic system that all sounds so up my alley. It's one that I've been wanting for years, so it's not just like an impulse buy. And also, this book specifically, I wanted to read physically instead of digitally, so I do read a lot of ebooks, but this has, if I can find a page with them, you can see footnotes, which I thought would be a lot better to read physically than digitally. A few months ago, I read, what's the name of that book? Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. That's what it's called. And that is a book that has footnotes. And I read it digitally, and I remember thinking the whole time, like, wow, this would be so much better physically just because the digital format just messes with it a little bit. But all that to say, I got Babel, and I am very happy to have this. I've been wanting to read it for a while, and now I finally will be able to. I also, at this bookstore, got a pin because they had a lot of cute little knickknacks, and you have to remember that I've been on Tumblr since I was like 10 years old, and that has shaped my like personality and sense of humor. So I saw this and I almost cried laughing. It says, "What if we kissed at the McDonald's burger jail?" And it's got a little cartoon of the like burger jail, which is something that was part of the McDonald's play place years and years and years ago. And I just thought it was so funny. So I had to get this. I also collect these little button things. I like pins that are like regular ones where you just stick it through and you put it back on it, but like the round button pins are my favorite. I have quite the collection of them, and now I have a new one. I also went to Muji with my sister because she wanted to get some stationery, and while I was there I couldn't help myself and got some washi tape. So I have this pack, which has like a dark red, a gold, and a silver that are very cute. And I also got this, which is like a checkbox list, and each one is perforated, so you don't have to like rip it or cut it. You can just take exactly as many as you need for your list, and I think that's amazing. So I got some washi tape because of course I did. I'm me and I own so much washi tape. Next up, I got some stuff from this little gift shop in Providence called Frog and Toad, and it's just a whole bunch of knickknacks, whole bunch of kitschy fun stuff, and I got 3 things there. First up, I got this notebook that has like pomegranates and moths on it and this gold foiling, and it's absolutely stunning. And I got this specifically because for a while now I've been wanting to have a notebook specifically for definitions. So like when I come across a word in a book I'm reading that I don't know, I will write it down and write down the definition so that I can remember it. It's something I've been planning to do for months and months at this point, and I finally got a notebook that is suitable for it because it's got some nice lined paper. It's got these beautiful illustrations on the end pages, so I'm very excited for that. I also got a magnet that just says Rhode Island. It's very touristy, but it's cute. And then I got this pocket mirror with a cat on it. This is actually a gift for the friend who was feeding my cats while I was away. They have a black cat, and because of that, they kind of just collect black cat things, and I feel like this would be a cute little addition to their black cat shrine. Next up, I have 2 more books, and these ones were used, so I don't really feel bad about spending money on them. And I got these at Commonwealth Books in Boston, which is this really old bookstore that's like tucked into this back alley, and it's gorgeous. I got a little shot of it in my B-roll, but it's got like floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, all these little like nooks and crannies. It's packed with books. There's like stacks of them on the floor, so much. And I picked up 2 books. So I got Hamlet, in the Signet Classics edition. I collect Shakespeare in several editions, but this is one of the editions that I collect. I have 4 other ones in this edition. How many times am I going to say edition? But now I have Hamlet in it because for some reason I just didn't own a copy of Hamlet, even though I love Hamlet. So now I have this, and it's got this massive used sticker on it that I'm going to have to peel off, which is annoying. The other book I got was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. You can see my bookmark that I got from Commonwealth Books. I didn't go into this weekend intending to buy 2 R.F. Kuang books. That's kind of just how it happened, but R.F. Kuang is an author that I've been meaning to try for a while now, and Babel excites me. This book excites me. It's going to be a fun time. I'm thinking I'm going to do a vlog of trying out these 2 books, and maybe another R.F. Kuang, I'm not too sure. I know she's got a couple of other books, but they might just be the ones in the series. Anyway, I'm rambling. Very excited to read this, and I'm also very excited that it only cost me a few dollars for both of these books. We know I am a thrifty person, so those were my things that I picked up from Commonwealth Books. And then finally, the crowning jewel of this haul, I have, well, first I'll show you the little knickknacks I got. Knickknacks isn't the right word. Anyway, this is from Wallace's book signing. This was I went to the Boston event, and it was at Beacon Hill Books and Cafe, I'm pretty sure is what it was called. Don't quote me on that. But she was giving out these teeny tiny little bookmarks because everything she ordered for these events came in the wrong size. So it's a very small bookmark with a pin that's a pumpkin, and it says "There's power in remembrance." And I also grabbed this sticker that's just these beautiful autumn leaves that say "Autumn brings the lovely longing of nostalgia." The artwork for these things, and there was a couple of other designs, was done by Marta, another dear friend in this community, and she just did an amazing job. They're so cute. But I also got, of course, my copy of A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney. I'm so excited. I'm going to crack into this. This is obviously the book that I will be reading for this vlog. If you didn't see the title or thumbnail, now you know. This is a witchy, romancy book. It's very dark and spooky. It also has Hallmark story vibes. That was the intention going into writing this book. Wallace was like, I'm gonna write a book that is like a Hallmark movie, but for Halloween, and I'm so excited. It's quite short. It is just under 300 pages, so I don't think it'll take me long to read, especially because I feel like I'm gonna just eat through this and get through it so fast. So that's very exciting. I'm going to start reading this today and give you updates along the way, because that's how vlogs work. I got so caught up in hauling all of my items that I kind of forgot this is just for a vlog. So I've been talking long enough. I'm going to get cozy and start reading this, and see you guys in a little while. I'm here with my first official update on A Dark and Secret Magic. It is about 9:15 p.m., so I've been reading for about 45 minutes, and I am 50 pages in. I don't know if you can see my bookmark there. 52 pages, technically. I've read the first 6 chapters, which, let me just say, I very much appreciate that there are chapter numbers and titles, which is great. I do wish there was a table of contents because I just really like tables of contents if you've got chapter titles. So a little bit miffed about that, but that's also not a big deal. I'm loving this. It is so good, you guys. I've been so engrossed. I've heard the first chapter a couple of times now because Wallace uploaded a video of her reading the first chapter when I was at the book signing event. She read an excerpt of the first chapter, so like I already knew that, like what happens in the first chapter going into this. But then going into like the second chapter and on, I'm just like so engrossed in this story already. It's magnificent. I'm having a great time. Wallace's writing style kind of feels similar to my own in that it's very like flowy, longer sentences I love to write myself, and I feel a lot of that in here. It's definitely different from my own. Like if I were to write a story like this, it would not turn out the same way because we're different people, different writers, but I do appreciate the similarities. I love our main character, Kate. So I haven't given a synopsis or anything about this book. Jeez, I'm a mess. So our main character is Kate, and she is a 30-year-old witch, part of the Atlantic Key Coven. She lives up in Ipswich, Massachusetts, which is the headquarters of her coven, and she is a hedge witch. Her mother passed away just a few months previous, so that is like one of the big things she's dealing with right now. She's also dealing with the fact that her 31st birthday is coming up on Halloween. So this is set over the last week before Halloween. So technically I'm reading it a little bit early because it's currently the 17th of October and it's 2 weeks until Halloween for me, but whatever. Her birthday is Halloween, and on the 31st birthday for a witch of this coven, this event happens. I don't remember what it's called. How did I already forget that? Am I gonna be able to find it? Probably not. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to find it. This thing happens where the witch's magic is bound so that they can only practice their specific craft. So like Kate is a hedge witch, like I've said. Her older sister Miranda is a sea witch. Her younger sister Celeste is a sky witch, I think is what it's called, with like stars and stuff. So the coven has been losing like magic collectively for a few generations now, I think is what it said. And in order to combat this, the witch's magic is bound so that they can only practice their one specific magic that they've been studying for 18 years or so, since they're 13, so that it is more powerful and their magic isn't like being wasted on all of these other things, if that makes sense. I'm terribly describing this. So she's got that coming up. And on top of all of this, a person from her past shows up, Matthew, who is from the Pacific Gate coven, so on the other side of the country. They met once 10 years ago and had like an instant connection, and then some things happened to kind of like pull them apart, and Kate has had like a negative view of him since, but he shows up asking for sanctuary, which as a hedge witch Kate has to provide for him. And he's also the heir to his coven. He's not just like some member of this coven, and there's like always been tension between the two covens, but he shows up and he's like, yeah, me and my dad had this huge fight, but like it'll blow over, and while that's like being blown over, I'm here to collect ingredients for this thing I'm doing. So he's like kind of throwing a wrench into things. Kate's older sister is throwing a wrench into things because another member of their coven has passed away, and so she was going to host the Samhain celebrations for the coven, but since she passed away, Miranda was like, I volunteered our ancestral home to be the place where we have these celebrations, so you gotta get that ready for everything. So now Kate has to deal with that. There are a lot of moving parts, and I am equally intrigued by all of the plot lines. I'm already obsessed with Matthew. So this book is like a homage to like Halloween movies, but also like Hallmark movies. It's a love letter to Halloween, in Wallace's words, and I really feel the romance here, because this is a romance book. You know, Kate and Matthew are gonna end up together. I really feel the dynamic here is reminiscent of the romance in Practical Magic, which is a movie I absolutely adore, and I know Wallace also really likes that movie, so that's great. I'm so here for it. I've already had a couple of like cover my mouth giggling moments with Matthew and Kate's interactions, so yeah, all that to say, I'm having a fantastic time. I'm definitely gonna keep reading more tonight. I just thought I'd update you. His 50 pages is a good little taste test of the book. It's about a sixth of the way through. I'm now gonna do my bullet journal stuff for the night and then get back into bed, get cozied up again, and keep reading. So I'm very excited for that. Okay, you guys get no context for this line because spoilers, but I need to read it out loud and react for you. This is on page 68, and a character says, "If I told you that you can trust me, would you believe me, despite what I am, despite where I come from?" And like, obviously that's so vague without the context, but like, I'm screaming, crying, throwing up. Like, oh my god, the dynamics. Chef's kiss, so obsessed. Or kitchen witch's kiss, because we don't have a kitchen witch. The main character's mom was a kitchen witch, but as previously established, she passed away prior to the start of this book. There's a fuzzball stuck to it. Yeah, there's so many lines that have gotten me where I'm just like, oh, yes, perfect, beautiful. Oh, I'm just making noises at you now because that's the only way I know how to react, but I'm gonna get back to reading. Hello friends, it is about 20 to 2 in the afternoon and I am halfway through A Dark and Secret Magic. What? I just hit myself in the face. When I tell you that I'm having a fantastic time, I'm having a fantastic time. It's just, I don't even have the words for this. I'm like physically reacting to every scene. I'm like kicking my feet and giggling like a little schoolgirl whenever any of the romance happens because it's just so well written and I love these characters together. Their dynamic is just so good. I'm like screaming, crying, throwing up, you know, that whole thing. That's literally how I feel. Like, I'm so immersed in this and I just want to keep reading, but I have so many things to do, but I really want to ignore them to keep reading. It's a struggle. We've had some seriously like terrifying things happening. Like, we're really upping the stakes now, which like we're halfway through the book. I would hope we're upping the stakes. We are learning more things about what's happening, but also like not a lot has been revealed. It's just been more like little tidbits, like, oh, here's a little breadcrumb of this mystery, but like look how much you still have to discover, like that sort of thing. And like I can't wait to discover everything. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good, you guys. I just genuinely am obsessed. Honestly, I was a little bit scared going into this because Wallace, the author, is such a dear friend of mine. I was like, what if I hate it? And I was just like It's unfounded, obviously, because I'm loving this, and I would be surprised if this didn't make my, like, top 5 favorite reads of the year. But, like, there was that little part of me that was so scared, and I'm so glad that that didn't happen, that I'm genuinely having a great time with this. And this also has nothing to do with Wallace, but the, like, pages are such a good texture. Like, they're the right thickness, and they're, like, not too smooth, but also not too rough. They're a nice cream color. I don't like how small the font is. That is a complaint that I have, which again has nothing to do with Wallace, but like, clearly your girl is visually impaired and glasses can only do so much. And this font, I don't know if you can tell, is like pretty dang tiny. I don't know what size font they've used, but if they could just have like bumped that up a point or two, I would have greatly appreciated it. So that is a little bit of a complaint, but that's like nothing. So yeah, I really want to keep reading. I shouldn't keep reading. I'm going to make a deal with myself that for the next we'll say hour and 20 minutes, that'll bring me to 3 p.m. I'm going to check off as many things as I can from my to-do list for today, and then I'll let myself read a little bit more, depending on how many things. Let's say, okay, let's make this a really fun game. I have a lot of things on my to-do list, so for everything that I check off on my to-do list before 3 p.m., that is how many chapters I get to read, and then I have to go back and do more things off my to-do list. That seems fair. It has nothing to do with you guys. This is just me talking to myself now and making deals with myself, but that is the plan. I think that sounds like a good idea. Will I stick to it? Who knows? But I'm gonna be sad to put this to the side for now and get other stuff done, but I will get back to it later today, and I will see you when I have more updates. It is finished. It is currently 11:08 p.m. and I've just finished reading A Dark and Secret Magic, and I even remembered to put the dust jacket back on for you guys so you can see this lovely cover reflected because I filmed on my phone so it's backwards. Y'all, this book was so good. So good. It didn't make me cry, which is surprising. I did get a little bit like choked up, but I didn't cry, so there is that. But like, it's so good. Just noticing all of the authors that are on the back with all the blurbs. I didn't realize so many authors blurbed this. None of them are people I've heard about, but maybe I'll have to check them out. Anyway, that's just me getting distracted. Yeah, I loved this book. It was fantastic. I really think this covers almost everything that I love most to read about. So I have like a list, an unofficial list, because I'm not gonna like sit here and rank things, but like there are things that I really love to read about in books, and this covers like all of my top favorite things except for an academic setting. That's like the only one it doesn't have, but it has, you know, grief as a main theme. It's got exploration of sibling dynamics. It's got a swoon-worthy romance. It's got a beautiful writing style, like very descriptive, and the imagery is stunning. Like, it really checks pretty much every box for me. It was so good. I did notice 2 errors, so I would be remiss if I did not mention them because I myself am an editor. I did notice one that's like, okay, it's kind of half error. At one point in one of the many food descriptions, that's another thing that I love in books is food descriptions, and this is chock full of them. The main character, Kate, is making Brussels sprouts, and it says Brussels sprouts when the correct terminology is Brussels sprouts because it's named after Brussels in Belgium because that's where they're from, I think. I do know that nowadays Brussels sprouts is accepted, but I still think it's wrong and that it should be Brussels sprouts. So that is one thing. I also noticed in like the second to last or maybe last chapter, like very close to the end, in the last 10 or 15 pages, there is a spot where we're missing the end quotation marks on some dialogue. So I did notice that, but didn't notice anything else, which is great. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I really, really freaking love this book. It was so good. This would be the end of the vlog since I finished reading this, but I've got something super exciting coming in the mail, so for now, I will just leave you hanging. I mean, it'll be a few days until this gets to me, so I have to wait, but it'll be literally the next clip. You'll see something very, very exciting for the closing out of this vlog. But for now, I'm just gonna say one more time, this book is really freaking good, and y'all should read it, so go read it. I am gonna go to bed because I'm really tired. So, good night, friends, and I will see you when I've got something really cool to show you. Hello, friends. It is literally one day after I last spoke to you, and I have a very exciting package that is here 2 days earlier than I expected it to be. So we're gonna unbox this baby and see what's inside. So I have my handy dandy box cutter to get through this tape. I did not give myself enough space on my desk. Look at that. It's got crinkle paper and a little card to let you know what it is. This is the Unplugged Book Box special edition of A Dark and Secret Magic, hence why I'm opening it in this vlog. This is so exciting. It has a redesigned dust jacket with foiling and reverse dust jacket artwork. The front end pages and edges are designed. There's also the back end page and the hardcover underneath with a back illustration done by a bunch of artists. So I will try and remember to leave the names of all of these artists in the description of my video because there's like 6 or 7 of them and I want to make sure they get the credit they deserve. And then the back is just an ad for their other boxes. So, get all this crinkle paper out of the way. It's sticking to me. Pull out the package. Alright. Oh, it's not even, the adhesive isn't even used. It was just placed in there. And if I can get this thing out, clearly I'm not good at unboxings. I don't think I've ever done one before. There we go. Oh my god, she's huge. She's probably the same size as the regular hardcover. I don't know. Can you see it behind me? No, I put it on the wrong shelf. You can see it just peeking up over there. I wanted it in the background of my videos, but anyway, I'm rambling. Here she is. Oh, she's covered in plastic. I'm gonna do this very carefully so I don't cut the book, but I do cut the paper. This isn't paper, this is plastic. I'm clearly so smart. I'm very distracted by how beautiful this book is. This is like the first time I've ever ordered a special edition. I have a couple of books that are special editions, but they were all like thrifted or bought for me from other people. Now I can do the actual showing off. So we have A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney with this beautiful foiling. There's some gold foiling and some like pink. And then, ooh, that's an interesting choice. The back, the like whole big blurb is done in this very light pink. I think it's the same pink as like the metallic stuff, but not metallicized. Is that a word? I don't know. But it's like light pink on a light beige background, so it's very hard to read. It's also like very pixely, so that's a bummer, but otherwise it's beautiful. Got these sprayed edges that have Merlin the cat and these autumn trees, and then the bottom has more leaves and like, let me get closer to the camera, like cinnamon bundles, and it's the same as the top. Stunning. Let's see those end pages. Ooh, I almost dropped it. This is going to be a terrible clip because I'm just doing this all in one go, but here we have a pumpkin with a little house carved in it, and then the actual house. And this has also got foiling on it. That's beautiful. Let's look at the back pages, and then we'll do the reverse cover. So on this side we have, ooh, we have the manor with all of the pumpkins. Oh, this is also foiled. These are all scenes from the book. Seeing as I've just finished it, I remember all of these things. That's so pretty. I love that the windows are foiled. That's gorgeous. And now, oh, they used a different author picture. So Wallace did this whole fantasy photo shoot of like her doing all these really cool things. She's got like a cloak and arm bracers and stuff. She looks so stunning. But actually, it might be the same photo, just zoomed out, because it says her like whole body and everything, and I think her regular one is just her face. But let's pull off this for now, and we can look at the beautiful cover. Oh, I kind of really love this more than the actual cover. Like, this is stunning, but I'm obsessed with this. We got Merlin peeking in, and like these gorgeous red trees, and like orange and pink foiling. Oh, so pretty. And then the spine. And then the back is another image of the cottage with this border of mushrooms and flowers. I am very much obsessed with the naked hardback. Would it be blasphemous to not use this dust jacket? Or I'll see if the thing is the same size as the regular book, because I might put this dust jacket on the regular book and then have this be the naked hardcover. We'll see. But now it's time to look at the reverse dust jacket art. Oh, that's so pretty. It's all orange and purple, and it's got some pumpkins. Pumpkins feature quite heavily in the book. I got 3 little witches. This is so cute. This is so pretty. What if, hear me out, I get a frame and I hang this up on my wall? I mean, I'd be kind of sad because this is gorgeous. Like, the actual dust jacket is so beautiful, but I think the underneath is slightly more beautiful than this, at least according to my tastes. And I really want that on display. And I really love this orange, like, autumnal print. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that is the Unplugged Book Box for A Dark and Secret Magic. I'm like 90% sure it's sold out, so like I can't leave a link for you. It looks like it's the same font inside and like the same chapter headings. Just doing a little bit of a flip through to the back. We do still have the excerpt. Yeah, the inside is all the same. It's just the artwork and everything is different. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my god, I didn't notice. There is... Oh, come on. Get out of there. A ribbon bookmark. That's so exciting. Oh my god, I really love that. This is a beautiful special edition. I'm very glad that I got myself a copy while I could. So, there you have it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back with the regular edition so I can do a little bit of a comparison before I close this all out. Okay, so here we have the regular edition, which also has a beautiful cover, like we're not knocking that, but it is in fact smaller than the special edition. So I can't put the dust jacket on here. So for now, the dust jacket is gonna stay on because I don't want anything to happen to it, but I might look into getting a frame to hang up that beautiful print on the reverse side. If it's not too expensive to get a frame, because it'd probably have to be like a custom size, and that get pretty expensive, so it probably won't happen, but I might think about it. How many pages is this? Because this is just under 300 with just the story, but with all like the stuff in the back, like the recipes and the acknowledgments, it's 311 pages. The special edition, because it is taller and wider, oh, it's also 311 pages. Does it just have thicker margins? No, it has a bigger font. Okay. Well, that's good, because I did say that I wish this font was bigger. It looks like a bigger font and also slightly more space between the lines. Okay. Wow, that's exciting. This has been a very momentous occasion, so here we have the 2 editions of A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kitty. If you've made it this far, then you already know that I think everyone should read this, but I'm gonna say it again. Y'all should read this book. It's real good. But now we have finally come to the end of this video. I really hope you've enjoyed everything that's been going on. It's kind of been a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things, but I had a great time filming it and putting it together for you, so I do hope you enjoy it. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone!